Well, today is the day I am beyond excited. I'm freaking out right now because this is seriously a dream come true ever since I drove this car in Italy. The Huracan is one of the best driving cars ever. Top 3 best cars I've ever reviewed / driven. So it's gonna be a hell of a day. Oh, am I being honked at? Oh my God.
It's a regular opening door, doesn't it?
Yeah, no.
I like this.
That is a Lamborghini cook steak. No, it's actually good. I'm not even kidding. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are having an awesome day. Today is a bit of a sad day for vehicle virgins, but it also marks the start of an extremely exciting new chapter of fun, fresh content that I cannot wait for. But before we get started, I wanted to give a little public service announcement. If there is one thing every car person should have, and even if you're not a car person, you just have a car, it is an OBD2 scanner. Think about all the times that a check engine light has popped up on your car, leaving you in total fear. Is my car about to explode? Has the engine blown up? Or is it something as simple as a faulty O2 sensor? And that's why I wanted to give a special shout out to Fixed for sponsoring today's video. Fixed is the easiest, simplest to use OBD2 scanner on the market. So easy, in fact, my mom could diagnose her car using this. So check this out. It comes with this little but powerful sensor and instructions to download an app from the Google Play Store or App Store for your phone. Setting up a new sensor is incredibly easy. You just tap new sensor and then enter the sensor code that's located at the back of the sensor itself. Then plug it into your OBD2 port right there. Turn the car on. So the other day, as I described to you guys, a warning popped up on the dash that said gas tank malfunction. That's a pretty scary warning, but check this out. Fix is able to explain the warning and break it down into terms so you can understand the severity of it. One problem detected, diagnostics report, issue found, fuel level sensor, minor driving impact, not likely to cause major damage to your vehicle immediately. Consequences of continued driving, faulty fuel level reading. As you can see, Fix translates your issues into easy to understand terms, as well as gives you the consequences of continued driving at the current state of your vehicle. It also produces live data and in-depth diagnostics information that any car enthusiast would find helpful. The great part is it's honestly helpful no matter what your level of car knowledge is, and Fix is constantly updating to give you more and more information about the car itself. Plus, it's always good to be informed before you hit the dealership. So what are you guys waiting for? Get Fix, the best OBD2 sensor on the market, by clicking the link in the description below. I know you don't have one, and you really should have an OBD2 sensor, and this is the best one, so click that link in the description below. Let's get on to the video. All right, now comes the part of the video where I hope I don't burst into tears. We're gonna take this thing out for its final voyage. One of my fondest memories with the car, the Uber video, the most watched video I have ever had. I think it's time to peel this off. Oh man, this is about to be an emotional video. I mean, as a car enthusiast, and you guys can relate to this, cars mean so much more than just a mode of transportation from getting to point A to point B. Sure, the Lamborghini is a lot of fun, it's fast, it's wild, but more than that, it's become part of my life. I have so many incredible memories associated with this car that when you have to move on and get rid of something, it actually is, it's an emotional experience. When I had to give up the S-Class, I had so many positive experiences with that S-Class and with the M5 that helped build the channel. But it is time for this car to go, and I'll explain a little bit more about that later on in the video. I picked up this 2015 Lamborghini Huracan in Verde Mantis, July of 2016. It actually stemmed out of a tragedy and ended up being a positive. I've been working on that my whole life, actually, is reframing things. Sometimes when it seems like there's a huge negative, something positive is going to come from that. And what I'm talking about is my ultimate dream car from when I was 10 years old, the 2004 Lamborghini Gallardo, was wrecked on a car rally. I let somebody drive it while I was riding in a Pagani Huayra, and they wrecked the car, and it was basically no longer drivable. So it was time to move on from that car because it had been in 2 accidents. I had gotten rear-ended about a year before that, and I felt like the car was cursed, and it just kind of scared me to drive because stuff just kept happening that was negative, and I wanted to get that out of my life. And so when I looked into what kind of cars I could get, you know, I stumbled upon the Huracan, and it was out of my budget, but I decided to risk it, and it totally paid off. This has been an incredible experience owning this car. I'm glad I took the risk and kind of overextended myself financially at the time being. So I took delivery of this car July 2016 with 1,100 miles on it. Since then, I've put 28,650 incredible miles on this car without a single problem whatsoever. This has been the most reliable supercar I have ever owned, and quite possibly my favorite car that I have ever had. I've driven it all across the country, and the fact that it was so reliable meant that I didn't have to care about the mileage on the car whatsoever. Putting 28,000 miles on a Huracan, yes, I know there are some Huracans out there with more miles, but people didn't used to do that with supercars. Maybe max out, if you look at the Gallardos, at 15,000, and people don't usually go past 20, but to be able to shoot past 20,000 miles and really drive this every single day was an absolute blessing. I never once had to think, oh, should I take this to the grocery store, or should I take this on a rally? The answer was always yes, because it was dependable and it was fun. It's so much fun to drive. It's connected to the road. It's such a step forward from the Gallardo, and it also is a perfect power plant for modifications. I've taken this all over the country, visited Street Speed 717 in Pennsylvania. We installed a fart can exhaust on the back of this. That's one of the funniest videos ever. Raced his Corvette, then got destroyed by his tuned McLaren 570S. I'll never forget that, gosh darn it. Took it on a slew of rallies, Monterey Car Week. Then I even decided I was gonna twin turbo the car. How crazy is that? That was the original goal, twin turbocharge the Lamborghini, have a boosted car, absolutely ridiculously fast, and well, it was a blessing that didn't exactly work out. If you guys remember, I was working with a certain company, Dime Racing, and they made a lot of false promises. The car never got done, and the good news is I didn't go through with it because my friend who had a similar build from them, his transmission blew up and it was a $50,000 problem. Then he moved on to UGR, and he's much happier there. Then decided to supercharge the car, which brought me really close with the guys at VF Engineering. Nick and Gary, the whole team there, are amazing people, always positive, fun to be around. And this car has helped me meet so many cool people in the automotive industry and make these connections and realize that a lot of us share so many similarities in terms of our drive, and that we just love cars down to the core. I turned this thing into an Uber. That was unbelievable. I registered my S-Class as an Uber, and then I put an Uber sticker on the Lamborghini, picked up unsuspecting Uber riders. It became my most watched video of all time. I believe it has like 25 million views. I'll never forget that day. It was an absolute blast. Then I cooked a steak on the back of the Lamborghini and actually ate it. I don't know why I decided to do that, but just some fun little things. I even plasti dipped the Lamborghini Huracan and was attacked by some random guy on Rodeo Drive who turns out to be some Instagram star, actor, screaming wild man. I shipped the car down to Florida thanks to an amazing partnership with Anarchy Wheels and Wheels Boutique, who put these awesome wheels on the car. Absolutely love them. I know some people thought they were controversial, but you know what? I could care less because I love the way these wheels look. Raced a 918 Spider at the Wanna Go Fast half-mile event. What an absolute blast, and actually proved that this car is pretty much just as fast as a 918 Spider in the half-mile. Even took it on Daytona Speedway on the bank turns in the pouring rain, which was absolutely terrifying on Cup 2 tires, but we survived and everything was all good. Honestly, this car has been my favorite car to own. Oh man, it's gonna be tough to let this thing go. It really is. So why am I getting rid of this car? I am at a total loss here. If I had infinite money, I would keep this car forever because I absolutely love it. But I don't have even close to infinite money. So unfortunately, I do have to sell this car in order for the 600 LT to come into my life. I feel like the life cycle of this car for me and the vehicle itself has been complete. We've gone on so many journeys together, met so many fans, it survived 2 girlfriends. Now that I'm single, maybe the McLaren will change that, who knows. I've wrapped the car, I put wheels on the car, I did a new exhaust on the car, we went forced induction, and now that I've had the car for 3 years, I feel like it's time to move on to something different, and that is the McLaren 600 LT. I am so stoked about that car, how raw it is, how quick it is, the sound it makes. And I also love McLaren as a company and as a brand. They're doing amazing things. Now, that is not to say that this is gonna be my last Lamborghini. It couldn't be farther from the truth. Lamborghini has been such a big part of my life, a motivator for success, that I always am going to need to have Lamborghinis in one shape or another in my life. I know that sounds stupid, but it just feels like a core part of my identity. So letting this go temporarily is like, I'm not gonna have a Lamborghini. I know that, oh God, that sounds like the stupidest first world problem, but really, I just have such a strong bond with this car. So Lamborghinis in the future, sure, the Huracan Evo looks really cool, although it's too similar to this for me to want to get that. But the next generation Aventador, when that comes out, is something that is absolutely on my radar. Finally, with a double clutch transmission, I think that is going to be an absolute animal and could be my re-entry into the Lamborghini brand. But for now, I'm extremely excited to do this new adventure with the McLaren, see what that all has to offer. And honestly, it's gonna provide a whole bunch of new content for the channel so you guys aren't seeing the same thing over and over and over again, because how many things can I possibly do with the same car? With that, I think it's time to kick it up a notch and drive the crap out of this thing one last time. Oh my God. Oh, it's so fast. And I gotta give a shout out to VF Engineering for providing unbelievable, reliable fun. 805 horsepower with absolutely no downsides. It has been just a total joy. So we'll see, maybe they'll have to modify the McLaren. They've been doing McLaren modifications, so I think we could probably line something up. Oh my God. Oh, I love this car so much. It has been such an amazing part of my life, and I thank you guys so much, especially for you guys who have been following since I acquired this car that many years ago. But just thank you to each and every one of you for following the channel, smashing that subscribe button, turning the notification bell on, because it has provided such an awesome platform for me to both teach you guys about cars, for me to grow as a person, for me to live out my dreams, and to progress through the automotive world. And I'm so excited for this new chapter with the McLaren. I'm gonna miss Ellie. I love this car so much, and I hope that the new owner gets even half as much joy out of it as I did, because this thing is truly special. It really is.